All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we are talking today to James Blankenship, Cruiserweight contender, getting ready to compete for that strap on May 13th. How you feeling about that, buddy?
I'm feeling great, man. Camp's going good. Weight cut's going great. I'm ready.
And I noticed you sat back so we can see how good you're looking, man. You're looking good. You've dropped a lot of weight since I saw you last.
Yep. 217 when I fought at Mountain View, and I weighed at 200.6 pounds this morning.
And, you know, we've seen you on this incredible streak. You're 5-0 at heavyweight. Now here you are at cruiserweight, stepping into this title shot against a really game guy in Chandler Carver. How you been feeling about this fight?
I'm confident. I know Carver's ready to fight. It's been a while since he's fought. He's got a lot of good talent. Young kid. I know he's hungry. So it's going to be a tough fight for me too.
And how do you think? I think it's a really interesting matchup because of the stylistic clash between you guys. How do you think that's going to work out?
I mean, I've thought a lot about it, but at the end of the day, I'm just ready to get in the ring and find out. And it's, basic southpaw versus orthodox.
And I know you've been putting in a lot of work. You used to be, with Silverback and those guys, but you started your own gym now. Tell the people about that.
It's my garage gym. I've just put, everything I needed, really. It's real nice just to go downstairs and start working out. Nothing against guys at Silverback or Team Tucker. I still go over there because those are my coaches and everything. I need them. But I train very, very hard at my own place. I always want people to come, and I help everybody possible. It's always something I've always wanted. Now I got it, and here I am.
So that was your motivation behind it, though, was like, I'd like a place close to home where I can just go down, put in work every day, not have to worry about driving so far to the gym.
Yep.
And now you got all these guys joining you, coming to your house, and I've seen the workouts you're putting in. Like they're brutal.
Yeah. I push myself every workout. If you don't push yourself, you will never succeed. You'll never keep moving forward. That's just my mentality.
And, we talk about mentality. I see, you post motivational stuff a lot. And I'd like to ask, what are your biggest motivating factors coming into this fight? And not only that, but in your life?
I was picked on a lot in grade school and middle school, bullied. And I started working out with the weights and stuff, and my body started changing like 5 to 6 years ago. And then transitioning into boxing, I've kind of went away from the heavy weights and stuff like that. And I just see people out here they don't want to work. They don't want to put in the work, and they're lazy, and I don't understand that. I don't know why. And then it's nothing against them. It's just me, myself. I'm just ready to go. I mean, every day, motivation. I just want to keep going forward, keep bettering myself. I feel a lot better. Losing all this weight. No, I'll probably never go back to heavyweight because I just feel so much better. And I want people to succeed. I don't down anybody if they don't. I want people to succeed, or if they're doing better than me, I'm not like that. I just want everybody to be a better person.
And so what would you say to people that are kind of stuck and like you say people aren't working hard? What's your advice? How did you do it?
Switch it up. You got to change something. You got to push yourself. If you're hanging around lazy people, you're going to be lazy. Change who you hang out with. Find you somebody that motivates you. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I've had a few people tell me since, man, I've watched you do this and you're posting all this motivation. It's motivated me to lose weight, and I appreciate it. And I'm like, I'm just a normal guy, I'm just trying to work on myself, but come to find out, apparently I'm helping other people. So it's always a good thing.
What was that like for you, finding out that, when you get those messages and stuff and finding out you're kind of inspiring people now?
I was like, really? And then I think, well, I'm glad I'm doing this, just not for myself, but for other people. And it's pretty nice.
And so let's talk about your training a little bit more. Who you been putting in work with? I know in about an hour you're getting ready to train with the Rhino. You and Alex always putting in work together. You and Tucker, I see putting in work a lot. Tell me about this training camp.
Been real good. Been putting a lot of work in with CC Morgan. Great man. He's always down. If we can go to a different gym and go somewhere and spar, he's always been right there in my corner. He's never said no. Still working with Chris. Chris is always going to be there for me. Been there since day one. Tucker, always working. Just my work schedule, working underground, it's just hard to go to the gym all the time. It's like I said, that's why I wanted my own gym. But I've worked with quite a few people during this camp, and everywhere I go, I always learn. So it's been a good camp.
That's something I've always wanted to ask about. Guys like you and Alex, you guys are going in, working in the mines, you work underground. What's that like trying to make it as a fighter and working all the time like that?
I work average of 10 to 11 hours a day, every day. So that's, all right, 11 hours a day, and that's 2 to 3 hours a day in the gym. I sacrifice a lot of time with my family and everything else. Like I tell people, like, listen, I got to train. It sucks sometimes, but seeing the results and, winning my fights, it makes it worth it.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I think to be able to do what you're doing, you have to want it really bad.
Yeah.
And, this last title shot, Chandler Carver's last fight, we saw his opponent, couldn't make that walk. And I saw you right there. You were sitting ringside. You'd fought that night. I could tell you wanted that belt. Right then, you told me right after that happened, you're like, I want next. Yep. So what's it like in these guys that don't really want it?
I mean, if you're not going to put 100% into it, why do it? I just don't understand. I mean, and I also understand too, like, if you don't have a lot of ring time, man, get all the ring experience you can get. And when I first fought back in 19, that was my first fight. Yeah, I was a little nervous, but now fighting for y'all for the past, 2 years now, it does not bother me one bit. So Chandler will not have one worries about his opponent showing up, because I will be there.
And, I think every fighter deals with those nerves at first and that almost like fear that you deal with. How long did it take for you to the point where you're like, it doesn't bother me anymore? This is what I do.
Not very long at all, man. My mentality is like, I get in that ring and the crowd, they're not even there. And I'm like, because they're not hitting me in the face. That guy across the ring is hitting me in the face. So that's all I have to worry about. And when I fought in Tough Man and Beckley at 19, one of the referees, he said, the best thing I can tell you is do not worry about anybody in that ring, because they're not man enough to be in this ring. You are. So don't worry about what they have to say.
And, before we go, I wanted to talk about that last fight of yours. I got to call up there in Welch. Heath Griffith, is that's right. I know I get hit in the head a lot. Man, that guy was a monster. And you fought an absolutely brilliant fight. Just your game plan was brilliant. And you rocked that guy so bad with that right hand. It was a beautiful performance.
Yeah, appreciate it. I worked on that combo for that whole camp before this one. And to actually see it land was awesome. But he's a good guy. We talked a lot before the fight. He asked for a rematch after. A couple of days later, when I checked on him and stuff like that, and I told him I said nothing against him, but I probably won't go back to heavyweight, because I weighed in 217. He was 265.
And he was monster at 265.
Oh, yeah.
You could tell that he was carrying some massive power in that fight. You had to be really smart.
That was absolutely. That was Tucker and me when we was walking to the ring, and Chris. We were like, listen, get in and get out, because I knew he had power. And that haymaker he threw, when it barely missed me, I felt the wind off of it. I said, if that man hits me, I'm done. But the weight thing, like I said, if I do go to heavyweight, I'm gonna have to fight like a closer weight, because I fought Heath at, he was 265, I was 217. I fought Michael Watts at, I really don't know his weight, but I was like 215, and he was like 250, I'd say, or more. But
oh yeah, for sure. Watts is a big boy too.
Yeah, but
I'll tell you this, man. I think you showed like what a brilliant fighter you can be in that last one, because you had to be a smart fighter. You couldn't go in there and brawl with that guy. If you had, you probably ended up on your ass.
No, absolutely. I knew I would.
And now, coming up next, you've got a totally different opponent. You've got a guy that's a lot smaller in Chandler, but a lot more technical, a lot faster. It's going to be really interesting to see how you deal with that, because we know now that you're a smart fighter. And I'm sure you've got a game plan coming into this.
Absolutely.
Well,
it's going to be a great fight, and I can't wait. And I hope to put it on a show for everybody.
Have you got any last things to say? Any shout outs you want to make? Anything like that?
I'm just going to shout out to my old lady, Amber, for putting up with me and really motivate me to get me. She's the one that got me to fight, because a lot of people don't know. She has won 2 tough mans and a rough and rowdy herself. And she's the one that motivated me to get into boxing, and she's my biggest supporter. So nothing but love for her.
Ladies and gentlemen, James Blankenship, you're going to see him fighting for that cruiserweight belt May 13th in Bridgeport. Thanks for stopping by, James.
Appreciate you. Talk to you later.